Little Corgi. Hi, it's Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi. Yes, you are. You're still a Corgi. And we are here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Tristan's a little bit nervous right now because the crazy neighbor. Don't we all have one? There's always one. No matter where you live, they're either next door, up the road, nearby. There's always a crazy neighbor. Well, he's over there shooting guns, and he has been for about an hour, and we're in a very kind of residential area. A lot of little kids' backyards back up to his property. Could easily wander off into his range, and of course the wildlife has really diminished thanks to him. There's like no turkeys here anymore. Anyway, today is a good day. It is National Puppy Day. And of course, as we remember, National Puppy Day was started to help people go to shelters and adopt dogs and bring awareness of dogs and the importance of taking good care of them in our lives. So there's a whole bunch of things you can do today to celebrate National Puppy Day. You can go to your shelter and adopt a dog, a rescue group and adopt a dog, whatever kind of way that people find dogs. I am sad that I do not have a new puppy because the people that made Tristan have puppies either now or very soon. I think they're 2 weeks old now, but they are not related to Tristan or his dad, and so I am not getting one, but it was going to be time to get a little brother. So we do not have a puppy for Puppy Day this year. And think about if you're ready to get a puppy. You know, you want to start on the right foot. You want to hire a professional who can help you. I just answered a whole question thing about what to do or what you wish new pet owners knew. And a couple of things are making a selection of a good vet. Ask everybody you know with a dog before you even get a dog and decide which vet's going to be right for you. Of course, I have a friend who got a puppy who's never had an animal, about 38 years old. And did she follow any of the advice that I gave her in terms of finding a good holistic vet, in terms of feeding the dog? Nope, she had to learn the hard way. The crummy vet did several things wrong before she went to someone else. The crummy trainer insulted her and was very not good with the puppy. Took her a while to find somebody else. And in terms of the food, the dog had to be really sick before she put her on the better food. And the husband, of course, was still in denial and kept feeding the dog bad food, and then the dog would get sick. So figure that stuff out before you get the puppy. Talk to people like me and the people listening to this show, and know things about dogs before you just get one. It is really a nightmare to come home with a dog unexpectedly, not have a crate, not have the right kinds of toys, not know what you're going to feed them. I mean, I had a cat that I brought home out of the blue one night at like 3 a.m, and I had to wait for the pet store to open at 8 a.m. to get things like litter boxes, cat food, and all of that. And I can tell you, it wasn't easy, even with a little kitty. So I can imagine having a puppy that has so many needs, how hard it would be if you are not prepared. Some of the other things you can do today: donate money and food and supplies and toys to your local shelter. Nice warm beds, old blankets. They never have enough towels. You can also organize a nice demonstration with your dogs in your area to protest a community pet store. Pet stores have been outlawed in many states, sadly not in New York State, which is right near me. But a lot of those stores sell puppy mill dogs, and the parents live in misery and die young, and the puppies are unhealthy, also taken from their parents too young. And like my client, they have a dog that's not even 3 months old and has already been neutered. Very bad. You can write your congressman or your congresswoman and ask them to support banning puppy mills. That would be a really great thing. You can help an elderly person with their dog. Take them for a walk. Maybe they're a little financially stretched, and of course they won't take $15 from you, but you can run down to the store and get some food and supplies for their pet. Another thing a lot of people listening to me probably have done is make some home-cooked good dog food that you're feeding your dog and give it to somebody to convince them that their dog needs to be upgraded from the kibble from the grocery store. You can have a puppy party at your house, or even just have a bunch of people over to play with your dog in your yard. You can post pictures of puppies you've known and talk about dogs online. That's always a great thing to do and easy. You can have some kind of a community event to raise money for your local shelter. Shelters are always in need of money. And boy, did I think that when I just Facebook, they said, do you want to start a fundraiser for your birthday? I'm like, sure, Corgi Aid. They got $325 for my birthday week for Corgi Aid. And, that's a lot of money for these places running on a shoestring. So you can start something like that for your local shelter and post on things in your area to try to get money for your shelter. You can also just volunteer at your shelter. I am hoping to be able to volunteer some of my time to some puppy rescue people. You can't go in pet stores. Oh yeah, pet stores are the worst, especially if they have pets in there. And I'm getting to the point where I can't go in there if they have rabbits. I'm still kind of okay with the mice and the birds and the fish, but I'm not even sure that's so good. But how else are people going to find those kind of animals? Certainly the bird world has a lot to say about getting birds from non-specialty suppliers. One of the fun things you can do, like I was saying, is have some event to raise money for your shelter. You can sponsor a fun dog show. It's very easy to sponsor a dog picnic at your house to raise money for the shelter. And a lot of the people that will come are people who adopted dogs from the shelter. You can invite people like me to come and have little information sessions about how to get your dog to walk more quietly on a leash, or how to teach your dog to do barn hunt, or what kind of food is good for your dog. A little speaker. You can set up fun events like biggest ears, longest ears, oldest, youngest, and cutest, and make sure that you've got those little cheap ribbons so that everybody can get one. One dog show I used to go to had a ribbon that came in your goodie bag with a toy the minute you walked in the door, so you never felt like you were left out, which is a good thing to do when you're having a fun day and a fundraiser and you want to support children and everybody. You can also go to your shelter and walk dogs, clean cages, do laundry, any of the many jobs that they have there, and they're understaffed and underfunded. One of the fun things you can do if you actually have a puppy or a new dog or even an old dog in your house is get a professional portrait painter or a photographer to do some pictures of your dog. I love going to the Corgi picnic in Philly because they always have a photographer, and I've gotten a couple of years of super cute Corgi pictures that I will treasure forever, because some of the old professional photographer pictures I have of my dogs from like 2005, they aren't that good, and they were at a show. It was really stressful. There were a lot of dogs barking. Those pictures, you can see my dogs are not happy. But the pictures of the Philly Corgi picnic, that dog's so cute. He's smiling, he's looking, everybody's having a good time, even though it's been pouring rain or cold. We've had great pictures there. So talk to a friend maybe who's a good photographer and get them to take some fun pictures of your pet. And you can bring your dog a new toy for National Puppy Day. You can maybe go down to a puppy daycare and volunteer there. Sometimes they need extra help walking dogs or caring for a senior dog. You can just spend some time brushing your dog. Brushing your dog bestows many health benefits for the two of you. And at this time of year, brushing your dog is never a bad idea. Right, Tristan? He says, I've been getting brushed a lot lately. You can buy some new cute thing for your dog to wear, a little bow tie or a little hat or a little jacket, or maybe get a new harness. Maybe he's outgrowing his harness or it's all chewed up. You can give your dog a puppy or dog spa day and take him into the groomer or take him in for a massage. You can buy him a pretty sparkly collar. One of the fun things I love to do, but it's a little cold today, but you could still do it, is take your dog to the beach for the day. That's one of my favorite things to do. And you can even organize an event to be held at the beach, because a lot of places let dogs be on leashes at beaches between the winter months, like they're not open to dogs Memorial Day to Labor Day, but the rest of the time they are. So it's a fun place to go with your dog, and it's a fun thing to put together maybe a little fun dog show at a place like that. You can also go through your house and get rid of all the toxic things that might be harming your dog. This is a bit of an adventure and sort of a spring cleaning thing, but many products, Febreze, Swiffer, I don't want to say all of them, but those things can be really harmful to your dog. I mean, in the beginning, some dogs were dying from exposure to these things. Essential oils are a much better product to use for cleaning. Many of them are antifungal, bacterial, and antiviral, and they smell good. Peppermint oil, something called thieves oil, can be great to clean your countertops and things and your floors, especially what you're putting on the floor. Good day to get rid of some of that stuff and get something non-toxic for your dog. Seventh Generation makes a lot of products that are nice. So that's a huge one. I mean, that is a huge one. I had a client who had a Corgi, in fact, and she was using Swiffers on the floor early on when they first came out, and they're chemical. And I don't even know if they've changed it, but her Corgi, not her cats, they didn't come out yet, but the Corgi on the first cleaning got really sick, had tremendous liver problems. She had to rush him across the street to the hospital, where they found out that a golden retriever was recently kind of famous for dying from that. So really can't emphasize enough the importance of cleaning out your household cleaners and your fragrance products, because they are super toxic to you and your dog. It's a great day to microchip your dog, get an ID for your dog, maybe order one of those nice collars online that has his name and phone number embroidered into it. You can maybe volunteer at a school or a daycare or a little kid program and help them learn about dogs, how to be nice to dogs. I love to work with very small children and have them bring a stuffed animal and just do like an hour talk about T-touch or how to be nice to animals, because some of them think being nice to animals is hugging animals. And watch Tristan when I hug him. He's holding his breath. He just went, Hugging is not a nice thing for most animals, cats, dogs, and horses and bunnies. So really good to educate children early, because if they do that to a dog that already has some issues going on, they can be in trouble, even if it is Aunt Cindy's dog or Grandma B's dog. Dogs don't like to be hugged, and kids need to learn that. We like hugs, dogs don't. Let's see what else you can do. You can teach your dog a couple of new tricks. You can choose some new fencing maybe for your yard for your dog. Consider putting up some kind of a fence if you don't have anything. One of my clients has a great little dog. She mostly stays in the yard. She's by a very busy road. Dog is tiny and black. She needs a fence so bad. Just some chicken wire and some stakes that you can buy really cheap at any home center would be a great gift to her dog for today, so that she could just throw her outside, let her do her business, and come back in when she's getting ready to leave in the morning. Putting her dog out the way she's been doing is super, super dangerous, super dangerous. And of course, what happens to senior dogs, I mean, my friend's got a dachshund who's only 11, and he can't hear anymore. It just seemed to happen overnight. So he couldn't hear the car coming if he was out loose in the yard without supervision or a fence. Oh, that's right. We were going to talk about IBD today. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I did interview the dachshund heavily. Think about, so putting up some nice fencing for your dog, and also think about using carpet or yoga mats around your house. If your dog is having trouble walking on the floor, these things can really help them literally get a grip, and that can be useful for seniors and puppies. And yoga mats are super easy to clean. You just take them out, spray them off. I mean, hang them on the fence, and then you're ready to go again. They are really useful for dogs with DM and other neurologic problems and other old dog things. And of course, you can take today as an opportunity to pledge to love your dog always and treat them as best as you possibly can, and to never stop learning. Because, God, the foods that I was giving my dog in 1980, first of all, those particular foods have changed so much in that time. And, if I had not stayed on top of learning about dog foods, and certainly my sister too, I don't know what would have happened to all the dogs I've had, but they have had much better diets and much longer lives thanks to my curiosity and interest and really demand for good care for my dog. So demand good care for your dog. Be his advocate. Don't go to a vet that doesn't make you and him feel good. Don't go to a trainer that makes you or your dog feel bad. Don't go to a groomer where you're scared to death to leave your dog there for an hour. There's always some kind of a vibe that is not right with you. So make sure that you are an advocate for your dog. So celebrate National Puppy Day. There's a million things you can do. And I'm sure you have some interesting ones yourself. One of my favorites is to just take a nice walk with my dog. And today we're going to try to take a walk with our dachshund friends because that's one of our favorite things to do. Of course, like last week on my birthday, it's windy and cold. So we'll all be wearing our winter coats, including the dogs. So everybody have a great day today. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, I forgot to talk about IBD, but we had Puppy Day. So we will do that tomorrow. Somebody's buying an Easter hat for their dog today because they have bunny ears for the boys. Well, that's fun. You can also make an Easter hat. Walmart often has in their kid favor section for parties some kinds of little hats, and you can usually get them and decorate them and make them super cute for dogs. Do you have an Easter hat, Tristan? You have ears. You don't have an Easter hat. He has a Kentucky Derby hat, though. Mommy has given him many embellishments. All right, everybody have a great day. Love your dogs and help other people learn how to take better care of their dogs, too.